Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. This is going to be the event and Prizewall breakdown for the weekend feud. First off, thanks off to Scotty again for doing this. And second thing to note, guys, is there's not as much information in the blog as normal. So not everything you see here is guaranteed. We're making, and when I say we're, Scott's making a couple assumptions, and I'm good with those assumptions. We talked about it, and for sure, if it ends up being wrong, definitely don't blame Scott. We're just going off of what we have. If you have to blame somebody, you can blame me, because Scott does a really good, actually great Prizewall breakdown. And I wouldn't even include this part if Scott didn't did this. I would just do the Prizewall breakdown. So it's very, very useful, very helpful. And the big assumption is the Sunday Blitz. So usually on Sunday Blitz, if you get all of your Blitz tickets, there's 1.17 million solo points. Of course, that changes because each bag is worth 16,250. So if you get a Prizewall, there's less than that. And then, you know, you might get less. If you don't max, you get less Blitz tickets, right? So around 6 million in tours. Sunday Blitz around 1.17 million if you get all of the tickets. War Score leaderboard up to 4 million. Portal 80,000 in free claims. CSS up to 450,000. Total free is going to be 7.25 million. That's assuming you get all of the points in Blitzes, the 1.170, plus CSS, plus War Score leaderboard. You can see the final free milestones at 6819 here. Has 210 EO shards, some Beck shards, some tokens, right? So lots of EO shards along the way. And then like you start getting into the bonus milestones. We can take a look at those right now because that's kind of where we're at. 20 El Grande here. So the first one is nice, but not crazy. 30 El Grande and some tokens. Becky and El Grande, some tokens, 50, that's a higher amount. Oops, that was that one we already looked at. 6.9 is your first medallion at 6.9. But if you have all your stuff and some CSS, you can get to 7.250. So plus your CSS, right? So 6.9 is your first extra medallion for the Prizewall. This is just some tokens. Then you go here, there's another extra medallion. Then 7159, there's none there. None in 7.2. So you got to go all the way to 7.4. This also has a bunch of Lex tokens, right? So you pick up your next bonus one here, and then after that, you're going all the way to 7.4 to get more medallions. So that's those two milestone breaks are kind of good to have in mind. 7.6 has 4, and then the EO shards kick up again. So your milestones start to get saucier from 7.6 on, right? And 7.8, now you're getting 7 in a bunch of EO shards. 8.1 is 8, no EO shards here. 8.5 back to them in 16. And then of course 9.3 is 26 and 275, and then, you know, a bunch of EO shards there. So the bonus milestones are actually pretty nice this time. I think there's some multiple breakpoints, right, where you're like, okay, it makes sense to push here. It makes sense to maybe push here, and then, you know, maybe here, right? Like for your stuff that has your Prizewall coins, some extra EO shards, that kind of stuff. Plus, depending how you do on the CSS and stuff, you know, that makes a difference. So as far as the CSS portion, you can see them right here. Tech Live is 50,000. Bliss is 50,000. Naya 50. Mommy 50. Jacqueline 50. McCool's 100,000. And EO's 100,000. Then of course one loot coin is 90,000, and then 9,000 after that for each additional one. So that's how you're going to be able to get your extra points there. Also, we take a look at the SummerSlam Feud contest. This is back, which is great. The eras and classes, if you're not somebody that gets a big war score, doesn't have promoters, this like allows my free to play to be able to get a decent score, right? Just by doing all of these, he can get a really good war score. Not a war score, but, you know, do well in this. Last time he got all the way to the gold chest on my free to play, which was pretty cool. right? So everything else after that is considered bonus. So let's see what's in there. 3 medallions here in the first one. So 350 is pretty juicy if you can get to 350. Definitely worth pushing to. This is a blitz ticket and a couple chests of disappointment at the 400 mark. Then we get 4 tokens at 450, right? And then at 500,000, it's 3 blitz tickets, 3 chests of disappointment, a shard bag, which is always welcome, and then some variable straps. So this one, the bonus milestones are kind of good. I typically don't like having to go this far in Feud. I probably, not probably, I think on Mherex, I'm definitely going for the 500,000. Last time, I think I did the 350, is what I got to on the free-to-play. So I probably will try that again this time for the bonus medallions. I'll have to see what the Prizewall can get me, my free-to-play, right? But yeah, so all in all, it looks pretty good there. And as far as how many Prizewall coins you can expect, free solo, 0. Bonus solo free-ish, that assumes getting to the 7.4 million milestone. That was one of the milestones we kind of talked about. It's one of those breakpoints, the 2 different spots where you can pick up the bonus ones, right? So the first one was 6.9, yeah. And the second one was 7.4, right? So that gets assumes getting to 7.4. Blitz is completely RNG based. Feud War Score has 12. So that's where the bulk of them are coming from. So free-ish total, you can get to 16 if you want to see the breakdown. 7.439 gets you 16. So then 7.6, you're up to 20. 7.8, you're up to 27. 8.1, all of a sudden, you're up to 35. 8.5, 51. And then 9.3, 76. Right? So I think most people, though, if you do a bunch of your war score and stuff and all of that jazz, you're going to probably end up somewhere between like 10 and 16, right? Depending on what you do on your war score. But most of us, are, that play a bunch are probably going to end up between 10 and 16, which we'll keep in mind when we head over to the Prizewall. And then, of course, there's a lot of stuff. So let's take a look at that Prizewall. Boom. So, 20 for the moment token. This is a very nice moment token. It adds a bunch of health. It adds multiply gems. In particular, it's great for Showboat Becky. And then EO is on it as well. So this is a pretty attractive moment, to be honest. 300 shiny Cena shards for 25. I don't mind that. I don't like the gem straps. We talk about this pretty much every Prizewall. I kind of hate these, right? You should have at least 100% if you're playing a lot or close to it for a modern era superstar like EO, right? So these I would definitely turn your brain off and say no. This is a huge chunk of Kamala shards. It's a massive commitment though. 46 tokens for 300. So actually kind of really dislike the pricing there, to be honest. We're comparing it to Cena here. It's almost double. Really, really expensive. Don't like these straps here at all. The affiliation is always cool with the chance to... Oh, wait, this is a modern trickster. So I guess if you need a modern trickster, it's fine. Otherwise, you can just ignore it. This is the random affiliation that can roll 4, right? Yeah. We can give you the IOW roll 4. Pretty expensive, though, so that might be your only attempt. Rowdy Piper, it looks like got a rework on his trainer. It should be move damage, so that's kind of interesting. We'll look at him just in a little bit. It's also at 6-star silver. Not that he's great himself. He's not, but... And we get on here, and it's like, again, this is always confusing pricing to me. Austin is not going to help your roster as much as Howdy's going to. He's more expensive. If you get to this mark, if you don't have Howdy, even if you're close to recruiting Austin, way better to carry on towards getting Howdy, right? Muta hits very, very hard. Not the fastest guy, but probably the hardest hitting acro and plays super easy for how hard he hits, right? As long as you got some of the stuff. Drew is a ridiculously good showboat. 300 for 29. Not bad. Jacqueline's really solid, 300 for 25. Vader's really good showboat, 300 for 21. They're just kind of getting better. But Mommy, right? Like Mommy's kind of redonkulously good, right? So the 20, I love that pricing. Penta pricing's not bad if you like him. I don't love him personally. I have him. I don't want to use him. But if you're looking for Penta, 10 for 200 is not bad pricing. Abby the Witch, 20 for 300. Best Lady Powerhouse, so really good pricing there. Moving now to here, Hall of Fame JBL is ridiculously good. I want these bad. I'm still 1100 shards away. This puts a dent. 19 isn't bad. Yeah, so I really like those. I'm not a big fan of Jade. I'd rather use Ozzy most of the time than Hall of Fame Brutus at this point. I do like Michelle McCool. I think those are great, and I do like Devon. Dusty's just a trainer at this point, in my opinion. So, and then Goldberg is just a trainer, but I love the price, and he is a very useful coach. He's an extra Juggernaut Gemet coach. I actually use him quite a lot. So if this gets you there, or you don't have much else you like, this gets you a bunch of shards for him. I think that's a good price. However, what throws a wrench in the whole system is if you get to 30. Then you're staring at the green Piper plate. I don't have one. I think if I get to 30, even though I like the moment, even though I really want JBL, I don't think I have a choice. I think I have to take this plate if I get to 30. I think it's like, it would be silly of me not to, I think. My free-to-play is still looking for a pig boy. Love this at 5. Like, he still wants one to go with his buzzard's beak. Not Mercy the buzzard, but the buzzard beak, I think, ultimate plate. So I do like that for 5 if you get there, right? And then as far as the reinforcement goes, red is probably one of the better ones you could get. For like Vader in particular. You could also use it on, like, if you're really desperate, Showboat KO. You can also use it on Showboat Seth freaking Rollins, but I probably like it the most on Vader. There's someone else too I know I'm forgetting, but 10 is a solid price for a plate if you're going to use it on someone and it's an upgrade. So, and that's also on the lower end of what we discussed for tokens available. So I do like that there's some relatively good priced tokens. The one thing I will say, and I say this all the time, I wish there was like an A tier or one of the free ones at like 6-star bronze, 6-star silver, like they sometimes do on the prize walls, right? So I would say that for newer players and mid-range players, those can be really helpful. The pulls are the pulls, right? I would much rather, if I didn't have a pig boy, I'd much rather have the pig boy than the pulls, just so I have one, because these, you never know what you're going to get. That being said, my free-to-play might think about it, right? But I doubt it. There's always that chance you could hit something big, but I don't have a lot of plates, so I think I go that route. This will be no surprise to anyone. I despise the econ. This is what you use with this leftover. I don't care even if you need the tokens to level someone. I think it's a short-term idea and a bad idea to take those. Unless it's just that's what's left over, right? I would take anything else before that. So let's maybe do a quick recap. I do like the moment. I do like the price on the Cena shards. I think Umagas are way overpriced on this one. Or sorry, I said Kamala. I am so sorry. I start reading the Ugandan giant and then my brain says Umaga and it's Kamala, which is whatever. I suck. But I do think there's going to be better opportunities to get a shards. I think this pricing is bad. Piper one, whatever. I'm not going for this. It's basically the same trainer as Rocky. If he was a better fighter in silver, then I might consider it on my free to play, right? Austin shards, horrible price when Howdy's sitting right next to it. Muta's fine. Drew's amazing, but like Mommy, if you don't have Mommy, I think that's got to be your focus if you get to that sort of range. And you know, or Abby the Witch. Penta's fine if you want him and you only have like 10, sure, whatever, go for it. I love the JBL pricing, those are great. McCool 11 for 300 is amazing pricing, and she's really solid. And then Devon 10 for 200, he's really good with the right stuff. So, and no issues with the Goldberg pricing either. But if I get to 30, I think I gotta take the Piper plate. I don't have one. If you don't have one, I kind of think you have to get the Piper green plate. I mean, bruh, Ilya's crazy with it. There's a bunch of other, like any of the lady technicians, you know, Charlotte, May, Maxine at Showboat. Like, there's so many that can use that, and I'm sure there'll be more in the future. So it's a powerful plate. It's a lot. So yeah, that's kind of my breakdown on that. Let's double check Piper's training ability just to make sure that I got that right. So it's basically the same as Striker Rocky 76, but if you not 76, whatever, Striker Rocky. But if you missed out on Rocky, then maybe it makes sense. It's more of a niche trainer. You won't probably use it a lot. So mostly during maybe 99 MP is the situation where you could possibly use it. After that, you got your specific colors. So yeah, that's that. I do think it's a really good Prizewall. To me, it seems like a really good Prizewall, so I'm curious what you guys think. Like I said, it looks like a lot of us 10 to 16 without spending. If you're in do your stuff, and then if you want to spend a little bit, this looks like there's some decent stuff to hit along the way. You know what I mean? So let's say it cost me 20 bucks to hit 7-6, and I get 20 total Prizewall milestones. This of course doesn't count what's on the portal. I can get 300 JBL shards for 20 bucks, Hall of Fame. That doesn't seem too bad to me, right? So I look at it that way. Also, I don't normally call offers out, but wow, 6-star gold. Like if you're a newer account, if my free to play was not free to play, this would be like when I've said like there will be offers that you should absolutely spend your money on. Like this is $25 insanely well spent. 6-star gold tech Charlotte. She's super good. It comes with 8 pulls and some TP for her too. So, bruh, like legitimately, I think this is a great offer. The pulls are bonus. You get a guaranteed 6-star gold Charlotte. You don't have to use shards to evolve her, right? It's just resources to get her leveled up. So like, yeah, if I was going to spend on my free to play, that's 25. I would 100% spend. So I do think that's a great offer and worth calling out as well. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'm always curious on the Prizewalls. If you agree with me, disagree. If you do, let me know where you disagree. I think there's some really good options on here for a lot of rosters. So it looks like a juicy Prizewall. Looks like there's some decent stuff, even if you aren't a spender. Like for my free to play, I'm probably focused on the Pig Boy or maybe the Red Reinforce if I get there. And then, you know, other stuff, you got there's just like, there's plates, there's the moment at 20, there's a bunch of shards. It just seems pretty good. So yeah, that's what I got for you guys. Thanks again, Scotty. Really appreciate it. Again, do remember, we don't know the exact amounts on everything because the blog had less information, but it looks to be the same as normal. So do keep that in mind. And remember to like, subscribe, and share because that really helps me out. And that, guys, thanks for watching. Good luck out there and have a good feud. Go get them. Yeet.